quick thoughts on the first race of the season, the Australian Grand Prix. And like, this was the first race of the new regs, and I enjoyed it. I know a lot of people are gonna say it's bad because, like, I know that the drivers were like iffy about the regs. There's that, but as a viewer, it was entertaining, and I think, and also, like, this was supposed to be one of the worst three tracks for this regs because of like how there's less braking zones. It could just be because it's the first race of this new regs, and that's why it is so good. But like we got like, and because it was like a team battle at the front, like Ferrari, Charles versus George at the start, which and it was so interesting because they kept passing each other. Charles just reading George getting impatient and doing that huge lockup at the start. It was great wheel-to-wheel racing at the start, and then there was other battles. We got Esteban and Gasly and Verstappen and Lando and Arvid and Verstappen. We had a lot of battles going on in that race, and I mean it was great to watch. Mercedes were just out there. I mean, like, Ferrari had a chance when like Charles jumped the start. Like like they tried to nerf Ferrari's start. They tried to nerf Ferrari's start by adding a delay to the starting time so that everyone could get off the line right. And it still clearly did not nerf it that much, because Charles went from P4 to P1, and George and him was just fighting it out for the first, I think it was 13 laps. Where Charles got the best of George in the wheel-to-wheel. And but after that pit stop, he was gone. Mercedes was gone, and nothing was gonna stop them. Like there was zero degradation in George's tires, the Mercedes tires, and Kimi's tires. They were competing with 13 lap younger Ferrari tires, and they still put in the exact same time. That's how crazy it is. Like, they may not have like 1 second faster pace than other cars, but they don't have any degradation. Literally none. Now, I mean, so yeah, like, congrats to George. Like, he must be so happy now because, like, I don't know why he's playing an underdog gimmick in the cool down room, the interviews. He's like when he was talking to Charles and stuff like that, he is pretending that like yesterday in qualifying he wasn't dominating. Like, yes, like he was saying like, oh yeah, you guys fucked up qualifying yesterday. Yes, because of their battery issues. But even without their battery issues, I don't think their battery issues were 0.8 away from you, George. That, like, does he not remember? Like, there's a graphic I will do in my full recap video that will come out soon, but in no way, shape, or form were they even close to the Mercedes, and everyone can see it. They can eyeball it. They can see it with the graphics. They, at best, like, they would have like 0.3 closer. At maximum, 0.3 closer. And there's no way that they would have ever caught up to 0.8. So, like, it's funny how he's doing this underdog gimmick as if, like, he wasn't the fastest car throughout this entire race. And it was so funny how when George said that, Charles was like, it looked like he was so surprised that George would say that. And then he with his laugh, and he looked like George was saying something ridiculous, and it was ridiculous. I think everyone could agree with that, you know. And it's funny, in testing you can be like underdog gimmick, but I don't get why he's not like saying, yes, I have the fastest car, I'm the fastest guy. You know, he can say that now. He should say that. But no, he's playing the underdog gimmick. Let's get into the part where I guess it's going to be common throughout every race, because Ferrari can just never start off a season right. Like last year, they did a terrible strategy, would put Charles and Lewis 9th and 10th. This year, they did not pit. Honestly, it didn't really mean anything, so like I could get angry at this strategy, which I am, and like but like it wouldn't have changed the outcome because Mercedes was so far and apart. But we must talk about this. The first safety car comes. The reason I get mad at this is because like this is like such a Ferrari case, is they don't react at all. They always like have some strategy and they stick to that strategy and they don't react to anything. And like I felt like there was more reasons why they should have pitted. If they pitted Charles and George also pitted, they got track position with Charles and he would have had a chance. I'm not saying he would have taken it, because again, yes, I know the Mercedes would just like, the Mercedes were just really fast, but he would have had a chance, especially with the wheel-to-wheel he was showing in that race. But George did not pit, and Charles pitted. They had fresher tires and a VSC, and there's no guarantee that there would have been another chance of that there would be another VSC. You know, like at the very least, they could have splitted their strategy. They could have had Lewis stay out and Charles go in, or Charles stay out and Lewis go in, you know, but they didn't do that, you know, which is why I say that it's fully on them, because like there was no reason to at least try with one of their cars, and they did not try with any of their cars, you know. And that's the problem I've been thinking about Ferrari the whole time with their pit walls, is because it starts with their race strategists all the way to Fred Vasseur. They are afraid to change their strategies. They're afraid to try things, and that's sometimes what you need to win races, and especially if you don't even have the car for it, because clearly it's not as fast as the Mercedes. But if you're gonna try and like compete with the Mercedes, you should not hamper yourselves with not trying things, you know, to win at all costs. And they don't have that mentality, you know. And it even shows, like Mercedes, even though they have the fastest car, and they know they have the fastest car, no matter how much underdog gimmick they have, it's like it's clear to anyone, even when George Russell flat spotted his tire, he was easily keeping up with Charles. But they went for it. And if you're gonna say, and they went for it with both Russell and Kimi, you know, they went for that risk, and that worked out really well for them, you know, because they went for that risk, and they pushed for that risk. But no, Ferrari, like, even they don't react to, and that's what, even if Ferrari gets the fastest car, I still don't know if I would put them in contention with Mercedes, because even if Charles did everything right, he took P1 at the start, he kept George at bay before the pit stop, he did everything right, and yet can't count on his team, or Lewis can't count on his team either. He also got screwed over by this. They both got screwed over by this, and that's why I'm mad, you know, because I agree, even if they did that strategy, they still most likely would not be ahead of Mercedes, and like maybe they would. I mean there was a tiny chance that they would, but most likely not. They would have been ahead of Mercedes. But I'm mad that like they don't try. You know, it's like it's just giving up. It's just giving up and just settling for a 3-4 when they could have at least pushed for a P2. You know. That's what my analysis of the Ferrari mess. Agree with it or not agree with it? Who knows? But we got Arvid Lindblad doing really well. You know, he was he was fighting his I don't know if this is a right career move, but he was fighting Max Verstappen all throughout the race, and then Lando Norris and Max Verstappen going back again. It's like 2025, except they're not fighting for number one. And like Gasly and Esteban in different teams, and there was a lot of DNFs. But I mean, it's kind of crazy. Like it was just like randomly the car's fine, and then no, it's not fine. It breaks down. Valtteri's car broke down. Nico Hulkenberg's car broke down in the start, and then I don't know. Was it I forgot like the other teams. Hadjar's car broke down, like, and Piastri had that unfortunate where he crashed before the race even started. You know, like there was so much DNFs, like it was chaos, and like this is what I love about new season things, which is why it may not be as great later on, because like new season just creates this unknown, especially new regs, you know, like the cars still haven't, like, you know, no one's figured out how to use the cars. The drivers haven't figured out how to use the cars yet, and which maybe a good thing, may not be a good thing, but for as a viewer, it is a good thing. And yeah, so like I'm enjoying this season. I know it could have been better. Like I wish it wasn't so battery, like using the battery, like so battery dominant, and I wish, like, you know, they in fact got rid of that altogether, but it's here and it's provided some good racing so far, so I'm giving it a chance and I'm being open-minded. And so and yeah, and like that was me the whole testing period. Everyone was calling for it to be banned without watching a single race. The single race was good. Like Bierman in second place, Bortoleto in ninth place, Antonelli in second. I mean, Antonelli, even though he like crashed, but you know, that was just Rossi of the seal. But he still, second. He did have a lot of time to prepare, and he got second. So like the rookies of last year is coming into their own, and yeah, I'm just excited that Formula One's back, baby. What are you guys' thoughts on it? If you guys could hit that like button, subscribe, share. I'll see you in the next one.